It's time for our third bout of the evening. This School of Hard Knocks fight is an amateur bout in the 145-pound weight class and is brought to you by the Days Inn Hotel, our official hotel sponsor, and the Beef Bar, our official after-party sponsor. And now, let's meet the fighters. He's fighting out of Lethbridge, Alberta. Please welcome Zamir Safi.
Zamir Safi on his way to the cage, fighting out of PFA in Lethbridge, Alberta. A record of 1-0 as he makes his way in, standing 5'7", 23 years old. And Jeremy, this guy comes to us from a long ways away.
Yeah, he moved here when he was 18. He was from Afghanistan originally, moved to Moscow, where he started watching Fedor Emelianenko, obviously a Russian legend, MMA legend, and that's what really brought him into the cage.
Zamir comes, like you said, from Afghanistan and Moscow. Has been training for about a year with PFA. He says that he's ready to let his hands go, wants to stand up, wants to get that knockout again. Everybody wants to get that knockout. He is 1-0 and won that fight on the ground, a decision victory. That he said he spent most of the time on the ground despite his opponent having an 18-pound weight advantage, which isn't a lot when you're talking about heavyweights, but when you're talking about more than 10% of your own weight, 18 pounds, fairly significant.
Yeah, absolutely, especially there. This is why these fighters cut weight to get to these weight classes, so we'll see what he does against someone else.
And his opponent. He's fighting out of La Ronge, Saskatchewan. Please welcome Dillon Adam.
Dillon the Villain Adam making his way to the cage now out of La Ronge, Saskatchewan. The LA Warriors Fight Club, standing 5'8", weighed in at 147.8 pounds. Just 18 years old is Dillon Adam.
Yeah, and when you're 18 years old, I don't know if anybody's ever heard the term man strength before, but as you start getting up there in age, when you get into your early to mid-20s, you start to get that man strength, which is something that, one day you wake up and you can suddenly lift about twice as much as you used to be able to, and most of the time 18-year-olds don't. But you look at this 18-year-old here, Dillon Adam, he is a very strong fighter. He's 1-2 is his record. Both of his losses are by decision, and his win was by a TKO, so we know he can stand and bang.
Yeah, he said he caught his opponent in a triangle. His opponent didn't give up to the triangle, but he did give up, and the referee stopped it due to the strikes he landed while his opponent was in a triangle. So a well-rounded fighter is Dillon Adam. And he said he couldn't find Zamir's first fight online, so he has no game tape, but he says he's used to not having that kind of game or that kind of knowledge about his opponent, and trains for himself more than his opponent.
And now for the formal fighter introductions. In the Power Dodge blue corner, he's 23 years old, stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. He weighed in at 144.5 pounds, fighting out of Progressive Fighting Academy in Lethbridge. Please welcome Hard Knocks fighter Zamir Safi. And in the Boston Pizza red corner, he's 18 years old, stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighed in at 147 pounds, fighting out of LA Warriors from La Ronge. Please welcome Hard Knocks fighter Dillon Adam. This bout will be contested under amateur rules. The referee in charge of the Hard Knocks action is Mr. Elvis Lyons.
Gentlemen, fighters, to the center of the cage, please. Want a good hard fight, give it everything you've got, keep it clean. If you're gonna touch up gloves, touch them now.
So Zamir Safi in the red trunks, Dillon Adam in the black trunks as we get set for our third fight of the evening here at the School of Hard Knocks 16, presented by the Hard Knocks Fighting Championship.
If you look at Zamir's, the way he came out, a very Muay Thai stance, very Muay Thai. He's not really defending the ground, so we'll see if Dillon Adam starts to look for those takedowns.
Both fighters checking each other. Big leg kick there from Dillon Adam, slapping just on the outside of the knee. Safi, though, not reacting at all.
Yeah, the thing with the leg kick is those ones look good, they sound good, but they don't do much damage. You really want to hit with your shin, the hard bone of your shin, the tibia. As you look, 2 straight kicks there by Zamir Safi, and those ones landed, and those did the damage.
Jab landing in a return from Dillon Adam as these two fighters continue to check each other out and feel each other out. Not a surprise as both fighters not knowing much about the other one. Another nice leg kick there from Adam.
Yeah, that one landed really nicely on the knee, and you see the welt start to go on Zamir's leg. There's a front kick, and that's something that's not really used all that much. Those front kicks with the heel of your foot right to the front of your shin, and that prevents those kicks because they'll start to hurt.
Tries to fake the kick and come in with a super punch, but it doesn't land. From Safi, continuing to push the pace as he chases Dillon Adam around the cage. Another big leg kick there from Safi.
Yeah, those are really starting to take effect. You can already see Dillon Adam trying to protect that leg. He's keeping not as much weight on that front foot, which is really going to affect his striking.
Both fighters landing punches in exchange. Adam getting the better of the hands thus far.
Yeah,
big right hand.
The one thing we know about Dillon Adam is if he connects with one of those wild shots, they can do some damage. So again, Zamir has never been knocked out, but again, he's got to keep those hands up to prevent that big wild swing.
Tried the head kick there to Dillon Adam, getting out of the way though with Safi and bouncing on that leg after taking a kick from Zamir Safi. As they continue to exchange some solid stand-up thus far between these two fighters. No effort to take this fight to the ground.
Yeah, you look at Zamir Safi and you look at his striking. Every time he steps forward, he's putting his hips into it, those jabs. That is some clinical striking, and every one of those shots is doing some damage.
A little bit of a flurry there as both fighters land punches, but again, like you mentioned, Jeremy, the punches coming from Safi seem to be landing a little cleaner than Dillon Adam's strikes. Just 10 seconds remaining in the first round, and Adam tries to land a couple more strikes on the way out. And we should see, there's the bell, and we will get set for round number 2, a clinical striking clinic put on by both these fighters as they were ready to meet up at center. Both of them said they like to stand and bang, and we saw that here in round number 1.
Yeah, you looked at Dillon Adam when Zamir Safi landed a great shot there. He landed a jab that stung, and right away, immediately, Dillon Adam responded with 3 or 4 big, wild punches. And, you know, there is some danger there for Safi. He looks like he's doing a great job keeping his hands up, but that was the response from Dillon Adam when there was a big shot landed by Safi. That's how he responded to that one.
Yeah, Dillon Adam threw a couple big shots. You can see him in his corner flexing that lead knee as he took several kicks to that knee, and we'll see whether or not Safi continues to target that here in round number 2. Both fighters are set. Referee Elvis Lyon is set, and we are underway for round number 2 in here, our third matchup of the evening.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Zamir has some boxing background, because if you look at the way he stands, yes, he does have that Muay Thai, but those hands are in perfect boxing shape, and you can tell that Dillon Adam is really respecting the striking. I wouldn't be surprised if his coach told him to try and take it to the ground.
We do see a lot of PFA fighters come into the Hard Knocks Fighting organization, and a lot of them have that clinical striking, although this is the first time I've seen that front kick to the shin, and that one landed hard. Dillon Adam in trouble after that leg kick, and now both fighters throwing punches. Safi trying to finish it off. Dillon Adam grabbed on for dear life at that moment as they work towards the cage. A nice sprawl there from Zamir Safi as he tries to take a dominant position.
Yeah, the only thing that I would talk about with Zamir Safi is he had the single leg and he immediately wrapped his arms around the waist of Dillon Adam, which is dangerous if a person knows what they're doing when they're taking those legs. He needs to work on that whizzer and getting to the side. Then he'll be able to get a little bit more offense. The one thing that I will note is if you look on the left leg of Dillon Adam, there is a huge welt above his knee, and that's a blood contusion there, and that's just a target for Zamir Safi to get in there with those legs.
And you can see, instead of just checking a leg kick, Dillon Adam trying to jump out of the way of that last one. So on that far side of the leg, it is starting to swell up pretty good, and Dillon Adam trying to stay away from it, trying to throw some big kicks and keep Zamir at a distance. But yeah, that big mouse growing on the outside of the knee of Dillon Adam, and you know that that's going to continue being a target. And when you take a leg kick like he just took it, that's nothing but good in the judge's eyes for your opponent.
Yeah, and all credit here to Dillon Adam. He's sticking in. I'm pretty sure, I outweigh Zamir Safi by a good 80 pounds, and I'm pretty sure some of these shots would be knocking me out. So, credit to Dillon Adam for sticking in there. But I just think that Zamir's just that much more clinical. But there's always that puncher's chance, and that's why MMA is such a great sport.
Dillon Adam continues to move forward. A switch in stance from Safi briefly, although he switches back and takes a kick to the shoulder. Safi continuing to control the pace here, and again, limping now away after that leg kick is Dillon Adam. That leg kick worked perfectly by Zamir Safi to this point in the fight.
Yeah, nobody can question Dillon Adams' toughness here, but I would not be surprised. He's a very tough man, but I would not be surprised if he doesn't come out after this round.
Just a few seconds remaining now. That is the end of round 2. We'll see whether or not the judge allows this to continue as Dillon Adam limps to his corner and is near collapsing. Surprised the stool's not in there yet. It looks as though they're bringing in some ice for the leg. Dillon Adam is down and out in his corner. Zamir Safi standing on the other side. We'll see whether or not the doctor's going to come in and look at whether or not Dillon Adam can continue here. Elvis Lyon heading over to the corner of both fighters. This may be over. Dillon Adam in excruciating pain here. He's shaking it off, saying it looks like he cannot go. This fight is over at the end of 2 rounds. Zamir Safi will be your winner, and it's not often you can say you've got a winner by leg kick, but you can say that now.
Yeah, Zamir Safi hit that leg, and I actually, from the way that leg's swelling up, I wouldn't be surprised if it is actually, there might be a break there. His leg is about twice the size of his other one, and the way that lump is, again, it would not be surprised if that leg is actually got a break to it, because if you look at it, it's massive.
While we wait for the official decision, a special thank you goes out to the Days Inn Hotel, the official hotel for out-of-town guests. Their generosity with rooms for our Hard Knocks fighters and fans is greatly appreciated.
Dillon Adam making his way back to the cage, needing help to get there, or making his way back to the dressing room and needing help to do so, as he cannot put weight on that leg. A very impressive performance from Zamir Safi, who now moves to 2-0 as a mixed martial artist. Again, we'll see the official decision, although I believe it goes down as a medical stoppage or a referee stoppage. and a final victory for Zamir Safi.
We have the official decision brought to you by Days Inn Hotel and the Beef Bar. The winner by verbal tab out at 3 minutes and 2 in the second round. In the blue corner, Zamir Safi. Zamir, you won your last fight on decision, and your opponent had an 18-pound weight advantage. How did that affect when you were fighting someone more close to your size?
Oh, I was just faster than him, and he was really slow. He couldn't do much. He was just moving, trying to stay on my foot and just work my boxing instead.
You were very methodical with that leg kick there, which eventually stopped the fight. So what's next for your MMA career now that you're 2-0?
I just train hard, and thanks to my coaches. Thanks to all of you. Thanks for the help. Thank you.
Let's hear it again for Zamir Safi!
So Zamir Safi heads back to the PFA with a victory, which is a lot of times what we can say about PFA fighters, a very solid record they're putting together in the School of Hard Knocks Championship.
And the reason PFA does so well is they do not put in their fighters until they know they're going to come out and be able to implement their game plan, whether that changes but throughout the fight or whatever, but they are coming in and as prepared fighters. You know, you look at Zamir has been training for a while here. You can obviously see the clinical striking, so they didn't rush him in, and that makes a big difference.